I think people with OCD can create really beautiful things. It's just that we kind of
Yes.
destroy ourselves in the process of getting there.
Boy, that's a quote. I'm going to quote that. That's going to be in the beginning of the podcast episode. Well,
That's going to be framed
that.
on your wall perfectly straight.
But I'm going to get that. That's going to be my next tattoo. This is the Said No One Ever podcast, a podcast about things you never knew you wanted to hear about. I'm your host, Martin Moore. Let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of the Said No One Ever podcast. I'm your host, Martin Moore. I have a very, very special guest on the show today. She's a runner, a dog mom, a fellow devotee of the color black. She's the producer of Wisconsin's Midday News at 620 WTMJ, my radio fam and friend, Gina Cuccio. What's up?
Thanks for having me. I'm
How
excited.
are you?
Nervous and excited.
Are you? We've been yapping about like doing an episode together for, I feel like weeks or months or something like that. So I'm
finally narrowed down a topic.
I know, exactly. And so I'm excited that like you're hopping on the show. You're also going to be the first episode of what years next year? 2026.
Wow.
So you're going to be
Crazy.
not episode 1, but episode 1 of 2026.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So I appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you.
We'll like pop champagne later or something like that. Before we get into this fun little conversation, why don't you just like let the listeners know who you are, what you do?
Oh my gosh, you covered all that already. You're putting more pressure on me.
Fill them in, more.
The news junkie. I've always been in news. I wanted to be a journalist since I was like 5.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I knew what I wanted to be like right away.
Was there like any like news anchors or that like you followed or like idolized like when you were growing up when you were a
No
little girl?
one in particular, because I feel like my parents watched so many different news stations, so I grew up watching a bunch of different people, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. Also, you can't laugh at me. Do you remember the show, the Mary Tyler Moore Show?
Yes.
Okay, I obsessed. That helped me too. I was like,
Okay.
oh my gosh, she works in a newsroom in like a big city. I want to be that.
So was that the goal, was to sort of be like not behind the microphone but behind like the glass and like produce, and or did you actually want to be like on the air, on the mic, like have your voice heard and your face seen?
I didn't know until college.
Okay.
And then I, funny enough, had a journalism class where I had to be in front of the camera for a little bit. And my professor, I remember this so vividly, she gave me feedback and she said, you have a good voice, but you look nervous. Like
Sure.
you're moving around too much and you look nervous.
Just like twitchy,
and
like your eyes twitching.
And at that point, I'm like, I don't, in no way or capacity want to be on camera.
Sure.
Even talking to a microphone, I get anxiety.
It's tough. Like I remember when like I started doing my YouTube vlogs back in like 2015, and I remember watching like I can't even watch the first 100 of them because like I look like an idiot. I sound like an idiot. I look nervous. I look like I have zero confidence. And it wasn't really until I started doing 620 with Steve back in, 2019, back in Radio City, where like I really gained the skill set of like being able to like talk in real time and think in real time and be like witty and funny without like coming off as a dork and fake and be authentic. And so I totally get that. I don't know. It's weird stuff. Well, anyways, so this episode is called The Thing About Routines. And in this episode, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and we had been going back and forth for a couple weeks trying to figure out an episode. And I don't know how we got into routines and OCD, because you have OCD too, right?
Yes, I do.
On a scale of 0 to you'll organize all the apps on like your home screen until you're satisfied. Like how bad is your OCD?
Probably at the point where I should be medicated for it,
Okay.
but I've chosen
Same.
not to.
Hello, fam. Me too.
Yeah.
Do you do anything weird? Like for me, when I pull into like a parking spot, I have to like hit my window switches 3 times to make sure they're up. Or like if I went to your house and I'd never been there before and you're giving me a tour, as soon as you're not looking, like I'll straighten a crooked picture or something like that.
Gosh.
When I go into hotel rooms, if the chair or the lampshade is like crooked, like I fix all that stuff. So that's how bad mine is.
I think
it's not ideal.
There are different types, and I think you and I have the same. Because I'm exactly the same way. I also have like whatever, the germaphobe. And not even like people are like, oh, she's a germ. No, like people are concerned because I use so much hand sanitizer. My hands are chapped like every 5 seconds.
Do you have to wear cotton gloves with like lotion in them?
I wish I freaking could because... But I'm the same way with so my thing is with door locks. I have to click it. Like I have to touch the lock to see that it's locked.
Let's go.
4 times, 2 times, and then 1 time.
Okay.
I have like a numerical system.
Sure.
Otherwise, I'm like, it's not locked. Someone's going to break in and I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And like you can't shake that mindset.
No.
And it started when I was little because I would like pray at night.
Okay.
And I went to a Catholic school all my life.
Sure.
So I prayed before I would go to bed. And if I had it like memorized, there was like this one I would say, and it wasn't even like a typical one. It was just like me mentioning everybody in my life that I wanted to pray for. So it took a while. If I missed anybody or I like started dozing off halfway through, I'd have to start from the beginning. I could not pick up where I left off. I was like, this person is going to die if I do not include them. So I had to go back and start from the beginning. And there would be nights where I would do it like 4 times to try to get through it all before falling asleep. Oh yeah, this started young.
Boy, we just had something. We got something big in common. Don't hang out with us.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I think like for me, like having OCD really goes hand in hand with routines because for me, I can't function. Mm-hmm. I can function, but like I'm not happy. I get depressed if I don't have control over sort of like every aspect of my life. And so for me, like routines really sort of scratches that itch and satisfies like my OCD.
Helps you keep control.
Exactly. And so let's just get into routines. Have routines always been something that's been a part of your life?
Oh yeah.
Or was it something that like you sort of developed as you got older and became a young woman?
I played sports a lot growing up, so I think having practices and homework and juggling everything, I started having a routine really young.
Sure.
And then it's just amplified the older I've gotten. And if you feel the same way, when you go off routine, do you get the most like chest tightening, cannot breathe? Like I will try to hit like the bottom of my lungs to like take a deep breath and I cannot. And then you get hot and you get panicky and your chest tightens.
Yes.
You know that feeling?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the worst feeling.
I get like that, especially when I'm like on vacation. So like I was just in Arizona and like if I don't have like I work out every morning, Monday through Friday, and then I have my same breakfast and my coffee and then I play video games for an hour so that like I just don't think about like work and the world and content and all this stuff. And so like when I travel, I can't really do that. So my morning routine is broken. So the whole day, yes, I'm just like I'm anxious, I feel like crap, like I feel like tight and
So you just touched on that. People have noticed I don't like going on vacation.
Okay.
And it's for that reason.
Yes.
It's just stressful.
It is.
You're supposed to like relax, get away. I would rather have a staycation.
Absolutely.
Because I just can't do the
do you have any what's your morning routine? Like do you have a morning routine that you like sort of do?
I wish I had a better one. I think my night routine is a little more intensive. Morning, I'm just trying to get to work. I have to have a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Iced coffee. 1 ice cube.
Sure.
Have to have that.
Nothing specific.
Yeah, not at all. And then just getting ready and getting to work on time. So that's my morning is a little bit more normal.
Okay.
My night,
so
I feel like is when shit hits the fan. Yeah.
Now at nighttime, do you have like this routine that you do, which we'll get into quick, because like you need to sleep and like this helps you sleep, or is it more of like a decompression sort of thing? Like what's your night like? Do you have a nightly routine that you adhere to and like ensconce yourself in?
But it's weird because it's riddled with OCD.
It's perfect.
So,
you're in I couldn't think of a safer space for you to talk about it.
Yeah, we sound the same. Oh my gosh, this is a nightmare, honestly. So I have to work out at night. That's my decompression. I can't do it in the morning. I don't have enough like stress in my body to get out. I need to work the rage out, and that comes at the end of the night. So that's my decompression, is working out at night. And then, oh my gosh, from there, in order to go to bed, I need to have lotion on my hands.
Okay.
Specifically on my hands, because that's the last thing. Yeah, literally. No, I go to bed with like clumps of lotion on my hands.
Sure.
Obviously brush teeth, tongue scrape, floss. I have a specific mouthwash I use at night versus in the morning. Yeah.
Please get into that, because like I can't wait to talk about my teeth brushing routine because you're going to laugh. It's
extensive. You have to. But yeah, so in the morning I do like a really antibacterial, I know that's not the right word, but like think a typical Crest blue mouthwash.
Sure.
At night, it's a whitening one.
Oh, they make whitening mouthwash?
They do. And this is so TMI, but I wear retainers at night.
Okay.
So for some reason in my OCD brain, I'm like, I can do the whitening and then it'll just be on my teeth in the retainers for the whole night. And I'll be like subconsciously whitening my teeth while I sleep.
Sure.
So when I travel, I need 2 different mouthwashes.
Gotcha. When I wake up in the middle of the night, like if I have to go to the bathroom, I brush my teeth. Anytime I wake up, like if I get up, like I brush my teeth in the middle of the night. So sometimes, like let's say I was drinking or something like that, and like I down a bunch of water and I have to like go to the bathroom like 2 or 3 times. I'll brush I can't go back to sleep unless I brush my teeth.
That was a real audible gasp, by the way. When you said that, that was a genuine reaction.
Like, I feel like that's a really weird one. But, like, I'll just lay there, and I'll, like, touch my teeth, and I'll be like, nope, got to get up and brush them.
Okay, so I do the same thing. I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I have to put more lotion on my hands.
Okay. Yeah, but, like, your hands are dry.
Yeah, and, like, the lotion already soaked in from how many hand sanitizer pumps I've used throughout the day. So I have to go back and layer again.
You know what you need is a, like, one of those, like, paint sprayer things, like the air compressed paint sprayers that you can, like, hook it to the lotion bottle and just be like, so you don't have to just sit there and wear the pump out. So we kind of got into some of the habits that you rely on. What's the weirdest routine or, like, routines that you either have right now or you had and maybe you don't do anymore?
See, I kind of want you to go first on this one.
Do you want me to?
I do.
Okay. So
that depends on what my answer is then, is what you say.
Why?
I just want to make sure yours is weirder.
It might be. All right. So, like, did you know I used to, like, daily vlog?
I didn't. So the whole YouTuber conversation
so in, like,
was enlightening.
So real quick, for like 20 years, I was a Honda car mechanic from when I was like 17 years old till I was 2017. I was greasy like a Honda mechanic, and, like, I hated that job. I would cry every day because, like, I dropped out of college and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be a car mechanic for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
So I was doing photography at the time, and, like, that summer, I had, like, no weddings or commercial shoots to do. So I was in this creative rut. I was depressed. I was like, I need to do something. There's a point to this, I promise.
No,
so I went on YouTube and I was like, are there any vloggers in Milwaukee? And there was, like, this chick in UWM doing, like, beauty vlogs. There was no one. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try it. So went down the Bradford Beach with my phone, and I was, like, just filming myself, asking people, what do you like about Milwaukee, blah, 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 blah. And I made that video, and then I made a video the next day and the next day and the next day. And after, like, 2 or 3 weeks, like, people started noticing. I started becoming popular. Like, I started working with, like, local businesses and brands. Yeah. And anyways, it became a thing. And I was like, holy crap, this could be a gateway out of working on cars. I might be able to, like, turn this into a career somehow. So anyways, I was making videos every day, and then I was also shooting weddings, and I was working on cars like 50 hours a week. It got to the point where, like, I was only sleeping 2 or 3 hours a day because, like, I just didn't have any time. So my weird habit was, in order to, like, find time, I went to Kohl's and I ended up buying, I think it was like 20 black V-necks, probably like 3 or 4 pairs of the same shoes, same boxers, jeans, everything. And I wore the same outfit for 7 years, every single day of the week. Weddings, funerals, work, get-togethers, holidays, the exact same. Like, if you go to my Instagram, there's like a 7-year chunk where I'm wearing the exact same black V-neck, gray jeans, black shoes every single day. Because when I would wake up in the morning, I didn't have to think about what I was going to wear. I was like, it was like Steve Jobs. You know how he used to wear that turtleneck? Or, like, it was that.
Yeah.
And it was like such a time hack. And it was just like a thing that I did, a routine that I did that, like, it got me a couple extra hours a day, which I was starving for. So anyways, that's my long-winded, weirdest routine. I obviously don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But
I was going to ask you, what made you stop?
Once I stopped, like, vlogging every day, and I think it was probably like maybe like 2018, I started doing it like once a month. I started, like, I got my job at Cost in 2017, so that helped.
Yeah, did you switch up a little bit?
It was once I started getting, like, time, and I started, like, caring about fashion. Not that I'm the least fashionable person on planet Earth. I started caring about not looking the same and just kind of wanted to, like, I don't know, change. And so it had ran its course.
I fully get that because, again, Catholic school, like, I had a uniform.
Oh, yeah, that's
college,
right, you would have.
So I had to save so much time. And even in my life today, I lay out an outfit the night before because I could spend 2 hours in the morning just trying on different things.
That's like in school, like when your parents, like when your mom would lay out your...
Yeah, except it's me doing it.
I like
graduate
that,
a little bit. Yeah. My weirdest habit. See, I feel like all of mine combined are weird. I cannot go to bed unless I vacuum. And the counters are wiped down. I have to vacuum and I have to wipe the counters down. It can be 1 a.m. and I'm coming home from the bars, and if the floor is not clean, I'm vacuuming. I'm so sorry to my downstairs neighbors, but I have to vacuum.
Let's go.
Are you the same way?
Oh, God, yeah. I got a couple years ago, I got stitches in my head from a vacuuming accident. I vacuum with purpose. I love vacuuming. Like, I just got a new vacuum, so I'm very excited about that. It's a Dyson.
There you go. I want one.
But anyways, like, my house has, like, these. You ever see, like, the old houses in, like, Shorewood or Whitefish Bay that have the little cutouts in the walls?
Oh, nightmare.
Where, like, a phone used to be, and then it has the shelf.
Yeah.
Well, I was vacuuming, and I, like, lifted my head up and I like sliced my head open and blood
gosh.
started like squirting everywhere. It was bad. I had to get stitches.
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
You might be the
I didn't
first
mean to cut
person.
you off.
No, you might be the first person in the entire world I've heard to have a vacuuming accident.
We're connecting big time here over vacuuming. Okay, so keep going.
I really think that might be it. I mean, touching the door lock is a little excessive.
But you think that's like your weirdest?
Well, I mean, imagine me intoxicated at 1 a.m., breaking the vacuum out of the closet door.
One slipper on.
Because, it's still in half of my clothes. I got my earrings
one
in.
eye in it like this.
Everybody's asleep. Yeah. As long as I can see the floor, we're good. I have right before I go to bed. And it can't even be like an hour before. It's got to be like less than 5 minutes before I go
So
to
is
bed.
your house like immaculate?
Oh, yeah. And not even just like immaculate clean, which it is, but which also, again, like I could not live in a place where it has like any sort of molding on the ground or on the ceiling because like having to dust around that is my personal hell. But anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. Where was I going with that?
We were talking about vacuuming. I don't know. That's my ADHD.
To be fair, I did just produce an entire show before this. I'm shot mentally.
Do you here's, and you don't have to answer this, but like here's a personal question. Do you ever struggle with mental health, and does routines help with that or anything like that? And if not, whatever.
I think you'd be able to relate to this. I feel like routines with OCD, I feel like routines help and hurt at the same time.
Sure.
Because it's the part of your life that you can control for the most part, right? Like some things are out of your control still, but it feels like the part I can control. So that gives me peace mentally. Mm-hmm. However, being that down to the second with your routine and things you have to do to be able to even go to sleep at night, I think is still harmful.
Yeah, I agree.
Mentally. So it's like a double-edged sword because like, I don't know, like it helps but it hurts so much at the same time.
I totally agree. I know for me, like I struggle with depression. I have like my whole life. And I finally realized that like my OCD was the crux of it. Like when I feel like I can't control a situation, no matter how big or small it is, I get depressed. So like for me, a big one, this is going to sound stupid to everybody listening, but like you'll understand.
Yeah.
Like for me, like if an icon changes on my phone, like the color or something changes, I have to like reorganize them or find a new wallpaper until like I'm satisfied and like there's like a color gradient or something like that, whatever. And so I'll literally sit there for like 3 hours organizing the icons on my phone until I'm satisfied. And if I can't, I will. I'll get like depressed about it. And if there's things that like I can't control, I'll get depressed. And so for me, again, one of the things routines are so like why they're so advantageous is because it keeps me from getting depressed and stressing out over things. And
no, I think I'm in the same boat. I'll make you feel a little bit better.
Okay.
So I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety and panic disorder, along with the OCD back in 2021.
Okay.
So I think my OCD is a trigger a lot of the time for my panic attacks.
Gotcha.
But it's like people who wouldn't understand it. So, like, for example, I have a tray on my coffee table, right, that holds a candle, some books. If the tray moves, like, even a centimeter, I can tell.
Sure.
And it drives me crazy. So, like, hosting sometimes is obviously a problem.
I was going to actually ask that.
Because people are touching things and, like, A, I'm seeing the fingerprints everywhere. B, I need everybody's shoes off. See if anything gets moved out of place. The whole time I'm just like chest tightening. I can feel it more and more and more. And it's because a tray isn't lined up perfectly, which sounds crazy.
Right.
But unless you're the one like feeling what's behind it, you just can't understand it.
And I can totally empathize with that.
Yeah.
I had, you know what a round robin is? When like, it's like when you have like a house, you live in like a neighborhood and like, all your neighbors go to like this first house and you have like appetizers and drinks, and then everybody like leaves an hour and a half later, goes to the next neighbor's house and has appetizers and drinks. Then you go to like a third one. So anyways, we hosted our neighborhood. In our neighborhood, we were the first house, and I'm standing there. I had just obviously cleaned, vacuumed, like I was selling the fucking place.
Right. Has to be pristine for the guests.
And it had snowed, and everyone's walking in, and there's like a puddle of water on my hardwood floors. I'm seeing picture frames moving. Things are getting like knocked over. There's crumbs everywhere.
Oh God,
there's stuff on my carpet. And like, Gina, like I almost couldn't function. I felt like I just needed to like go in my basement and hide.
Yeah.
And so, when you talk about like your tray moving just slightly, like I totally understand that and get that.
Yeah.
And I think for people who don't like struggle with like OCD, they'll be like, oh, you're crazy. But it's like, I don't know. it's also the reason why I'm so good at what I do. Like, it's the reason why this podcast sounds as good as it does, considering I'm using like $200 Amazon mic because I obsess over the way that it sounds. It's the way my YouTube videos and the commercials I make for costs and the photos I shoot, everything I do is because of my OCD, and I care so much. Do you ever find that, or what are some of the things that you do is like maybe like 620 or in your life where like OCD is advantageous, where you feel like you're going above and beyond what anyone else is doing, and there's actual like real tangible results?
So that's one way I do appreciate my OCD is at work, because I'm such a perfectionist. And it's not even like perfectionist because I want praise from my boss or like I want to feel like I'm doing a good job, which like I do, right? But at the end of the day, it's also, I know it's like this debilitating feeling that I'm trying to not feel. And I feel like that's what makes me a good producer. I'm controlling the chaos, right? Just like I control my routine and everything that happens in my life and my tray on my coffee table. I'm controlling the show that way too. I'm running a tight ship, and I know exactly what time we need to be out. I know how to, handle breaking news when it happens, because I know how to control situations because I'm controlling everything else around me to feel at peace. I do the same thing when I come here. I'm just getting paid for it.
Gotcha. And I mean, I've watched you tons of times, like doing what you do, and I don't understand how you do your job, because like I remember my first show on 620 that like I had to host. This was back in like it probably would have been like 2019. I did the TMJ nights. I don't even know if they do that anymore.
No.
But so like they needed someone to like, at the time I had been doing it with Steve, but they needed someone to like come in like last minute next day and do the 3-hour night show. I had never like done anything myself. And this is like, the old setup was nothing like what you do. And I remember sitting down in front of it. No one showed me what to do. And I felt like I was like sitting in the cockpit of the space shuttle. Yeah. And like, I just completely, and I had no guests. It was me for 3 hours. And like, I just freaked out. I did it. But then I look at like what you're doing, and I don't understand how you know how to do it. I remember one time I came in and you were like cutting like some Brewers, like a clip or something for a commercial, like while you were going to like another commercial. And like, I'm like, how would you have like 10 hands?
It's a lot.
It's mind boggling. But I can see where like having OCD is so beneficial. And that's kind of where like, you're like, thank God I have this, because if I didn't,
I'd be freaking out all the time.
Exactly.
And I can't freak out.
So how do you balance, this is one that I always kind of like struggle with. How do you balance routine and having control of your day with like unpredictability and spontaneity? Like, because like for me, I'm one of those people that's like, I could go right now and just like go to the airport, get a ticket, and just fly to wherever.
Yeah, that's not me. Did we just establish you don't want to go on vacation? Huh? Now you're trying to fly out of here?
That's kind of like the, but
at least you have that side though to balance it.
Yeah, I do like being like spontaneous. Is spontaneity and unpredictability something that like you struggle with, or something that like you ever desire, or that you try to massage into your day at some point, whether that's like, I'm not going to have a turkey sandwich, I'm going to have a meatball or something like even if it's small and dumb?
I said earlier, I'm probably at the point where I should be medicated.
Okay.
And it's during times like those I wish that I was, because I do have so even doing things on weeknights, I historically just like cannot, because I have a routine, right? I'm coming home, I'm eating dinner, I'm going to the gym, I'm cleaning, doing laundry, taking my shower, and going to bed. Like, that's just my routine.
Sure.
I feel comfort in doing that. Lately, I've been trying to force myself to do things on weeknights. So last night, I had a girls' night at the Admirals game. And I was stressed, right, when I got home, because it was already 10. Normally, I'm like showered, vacuumed, everything by 10.
Yeah.
And I was like internally panicking a little bit. So I'm trying to exposure therapy myself into at least being more spontaneous on weeknights, because I have friends that go out to dinner and like go out and get drinks and do whatever on weeknights, and I just cannot relate to that. Like, if I can get out of doing that, I will. Yeah. Just because I don't like things messing with my routine. Sure. So I've been really bad with being spontaneous all of my life. Trying to get better, like I said, just expose myself to doing more on weeknights, because those are like, that's my time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hate it, but I'm trying to get better at it.
But I mean,
not that I didn't have fun. Let me say, if the girls are listening, I had fun. Yeah, exactly. You get home and you're like panicking.
But like that, I mean, that stuff it can be a struggle, and I applaud you for trying to, to tweak it. Are there any like routines that you like currently have, or that like you used to have, that like you later realized were like they were bad for you? Like they were having a negative effect, even though maybe you thought like you were doing something positive.
I think I still struggle with that. Every Sunday, this is another thing. Every Sunday I have to clean. It takes me like 2 hours to deep clean my apartment, which is crazy because it's not that big of an apartment. But it takes me 2 full hours to deep clean. And I cannot, like, I have canceled plans on Sundays before to make sure I have time to clean. Otherwise, my whole week's going to be thrown off. Like, what am I going to do on a weeknight? I already have my weeknight schedule.
Absolutely.
Can't do it. So I think, like, cleaning's good, right? Like, you're in a fresh environment.
Friday morning is my cleaning day.
Oh, really? Interesting. See, that would bother me because then if people come over on the weekend or you're coming home from the bar, you're, like, tracking in stuff. And then
people come over on the weekend, the house is immaculate.
Oh, I don't care about other people. I need it for myself.
I can't have them looking at unvacuumed floor. Well, they would be vacuuming.
You got to vacuum. Yeah, you vacuum.
No, I got to go I have to go into the weekend with an absolutely spotless, pristine house.
Interesting. So I'm the week. I have to go into the week with an absolutely pristine place. Or I cannot start my week.
Interesting.
But that, like, it's a good thing, right? To clean and, like, be a responsible adult.
Yes.
But it's the point where, like, canceling plans probably isn't the greatest to make sure it happens. So, again, I think that's something where I could work on, where I could be a little bit more flexible with my cleaning schedule.
Do you ever have friends that, like, bring that up? Like, why? Because I could see someone being like you're like it's a cop out. Like, oh, I'd love to hang out, but like I'm relacing all of my shoes. Or
I have to lie sometimes.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I'll own that. I'll be like, or like the good thing is I have a lot of friends who have a really good mindset about understanding that we need to meal prep, we need to work out. We kind of have like a major reset at some point during the week, and mine just happens to be Sunday. So there are some friends where I can be like, I'm resetting today, and they get it.
Sure.
If it's people that don't, I'm like, I have to babysit my niece. I have to.
Yeah, right.
No, but I'm bleaching my bathtub instead.
Hey, that's another thing. Like bathtubs, like it has to be.
Oh, I will never get in a bathtub.
It has to be absolutely like showroom white. I'll scrub it.
Yeah.
I'll scrub it. I have my bathtub's only like two years old, and like I go nuts on the thing.
Yeah.
I know for me, once I was daily vlogging, like, and that became such a part of my life, like it really satisfied me, and like I got to create every day and tell stories every day. It's one of the reasons why I like do my Instagram stories every day. Like it gives me that fix. But like the thing about that was, and the thing that was detrimental to me was I was never living in the moment, and so all those years kind of just like flew by. And like I feel blessed that like I can go on YouTube and relive my nieces, like when they were babies, and I get to relive virtually every moment of my life. Every time, the first time I've ever met somebody is like filmed, and like I appreciate that. But at the same time, like I wasn't living in the moment. Everything was content. Like I just never enjoyed the experience and being in the now and living in real time. And so like that was one of the sort of like routines and things I did where I think it was like great, but it was also kind of like harmful's not the word, but it wasn't ideal.
Yeah.
And I don't ever really remember living anything outside of like what I watch on YouTube, and that kind of sucks.
I think that's a big thing about OCD that you just touched on, though, is that we're never fully present.
Yes.
Because we're always thinking about 14 other things. If someone's talking to me, and this is bad, but if someone's talking to me and there's a picture crooked, I'm just staring at the picture the entire time, counting down to when they stop talking so that I can, just go fix the picture frame. Yeah.
Just a millimeter.
Yep.
That's all it needs is a millimeter.
Yep. And you can't do when they're talking because they think you're crazy, so you gotta wait. So then you're like counting down and you're not really listening to the conversation. So I feel like that's a big thing people with OCD face is just never really being present.
Right. Boy, I like this conversation. My goodness, this is a great conversation. Just a couple more questions. You know, are there? Here's one. How do you know when it's time to like change a routine, or is that even possible? Like for you, like are there any routines that where you're like I need to change this up? Whether it's like your workout routine or cleaning, like you had mentioned your cleaning routine. Is there anything that like you're like I think it's time to like?
Yeah, I think the cleaning. I think we're going to have to, sometimes you just got to push it to a different day.
Yeah.
And understanding that it's not going to ruin my entire week.
Sure.
Like if I don't do it on Sunday, my Monday is not going to be terrible.
Right.
But in my head, it doesn't, like I can't think that way.
And those are like the mental games you have to like play with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to like tell yourself, and I've done this too, like just had the kitchen remodeled, and that was like a 6-month. Don't ever remodel a room because your OCD will. And I was really proud of myself. Like I tell everybody this, like there were so many situations where like the floor tile wasn't like perfectly lined up, or I didn't like the gap between the countertop and the wall, or the light fixture wasn't completely, or whatever it was. Like I just had to tell myself, you're alive. It's fine. No one's going to notice. I know you'll notice it, but like it's not the end of the world. And I was really proud of myself, like after getting done with like the kitchen remodel, and like I can look at it and I can be, for the most part, happy, and I'm not just like stressing over tiny little things.
Yeah. I think people with OCD can create really beautiful things. It's just that we kind of destroy ourselves in the process of getting there.
Boy, that's a quote. I'm going to quote that. That's going to be in the beginning of the podcast episode. Well,
that's going to be framed on your wall perfectly straight.
But I'm going to get that. That's going to be my next tattoo. I'm going to get it like right here.
Yeah.
No, you stated that perfectly, and you know you're absolutely right. Like you can create beautiful things, but what did you say? You just destroy yourself
in the process.
Exactly.
Other people are like, wow, like that sounds great or that looks great when we create something.
Sure.
But they're not seeing the panic attacks and the depression and the chest tightening that went into it.
Right. All right, final question. If you could give one piece of advice about like routines, or even other people that maybe like have OCD or are struggling with OCD, what piece of advice would you give to find like structure? Yeah.
I would say following your routine, but exposing yourself to not being able to follow it. One of the first, so I was in therapy for a little bit.
Okay.
Mostly for anxiety, but she touched a little bit on OCD. And the first like homework assignment she gave me, I was working nights at the time, at CBS 58. And she said, before you go to work, when you're like getting ready, leave a makeup brush out on the counter overnight while you're at work, and don't put it away until you come back in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Hardest thing I've ever done, which sounds crazy if you're listening to this.
I get it, though. Absolutely.
But the entire time, and I can say this honestly, the entire time I was at work, I kept thinking back to the makeup brush just laying on the counter. I'm like, why? It takes 2 seconds to put it away, not even. Mm-hmm. I could have put it away and been fine. But it was more just like exposing myself to like, okay, I made it through a shift and it wasn't terrible.
Sure.
And the world didn't explode.
Sure.
And I made it, and I got home and put it away. So just little things, I think, exposing yourself, not like taking a massive jump. I think it's just like the little things.
Yeah. And how did that feel? Like,
I mean, horrible. During,
I know, but like when you got home, like, and you realized, oh my God, I'm alive. I have all my you have 10 toes and fingers?
Yes,
20?
I do.
Yeah, I have all my toes and fingers. Like, were you just kind of proud of yourself? Were you just like, oh my God, I
can
do it.
Proud and annoyed. Proud and annoyed. I was proud of myself for doing it, but I was also annoyed because I was like, okay, I just spent like all night thinking about this when I could have just put it away.
Sure.
So it was like a successful homework assignment, experiment, whatever you want to call it, but it's just, again, like the OCD, so I was just like annoyed the whole time. Mm. But you got to let yourself have those little victories, so I tried not to lean into the annoyance part of it.
100%. I know for me, like, as far as routines, doing something that's going to be like sustainable versus like going all in on something. Like I remember when I started for COS in like 2017, I went from like working on cars and like moving around to like sitting at a desk, and like I got fat. Like I blew up, and I was like, oh my God, like I need to like do something. Yeah. And so that's when I started doing my like morning workout routine. And it was like, okay, I could like go to a gym for like an hour or 2 hours, and I could do like P90X and all this shit. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm going to quit. Like, I'm going to burn out. Like, it's not sustainable. And so like, I just do like 20, 30 minutes every morning. I can do it when I'm hungover. I can do it if I wake up late. Like, I can't cop out of it. I can do it on vacation. Well, sometimes I do it on vacation, but like, it's sustainable. And I've been doing it now for like 5 years, and I've watched like so many other friends get gym memberships and like do all this stuff and go on all these crazy diets, and like they would lose a little bit of weight and then they like blow up again. And like I've just consistently been getting healthier and healthier, and I'm like the healthiest I've been my whole life because I created a sustainable workout routine. And so like that's one of those things I always tell people. It's like, if you want to do a podcast, if you want to be an influencer and make YouTube videos, or a musician or whatever, like do something that's going to be sustainable and you're not going to like resent because you burnt yourself out on.
Yeah, I think sustainable baby steps are really important to combine both of ours, and finding an outlet. I think that's my other one, because you mentioned working out, and then I started thinking about it. That's been my biggest takeaway from running.
Is it?
And like why I've gotten serious about it in the last 2 years is because when I'm outside running and my lungs are burning, I'm not thinking about the chest tightness that I felt because the picture frame was crooked. It's like truly the only time in my day where I feel like my brain is free from dealing with OCD.
Gotcha.
Genuinely.
That's
so
how
I think
am with,
finding an outlet.
Yeah. That's how I am with like my hour, well, not hour, but like 45-minute video game in the morning. Like I can't be on my phone. I don't think about work. I don't think about content or radio or whatever the hell it is I have going on. The podcast, I'm just completely gone.
Locked in.
And like there's nothing else. Like when I work out, that is probably one of the biggest times where my brain is so free and I just freak out over everything. Like
really?
Yes. Like if I, for some reason, I'm not on 620 a whole hell of a lot anymore, but like if I am, or if I have a podcast episode or whatever, or there's something big going on at work, when I work out in the morning, it's all I think about. And I cannot wait to be done with the workout because I can't, and I wish I could be like you. And I know so many other people that run where they're like, yeah, I just shut my brain off and Forrest Gump it. And I'm like, I'm running.
Literally.
But I can't, like, that's one of the worst things for me. Even like, I love biking. Like I'll go like 20, 30 miles and like the whole time I'll be thinking about, and I'm so envious of you.
So that's the thing about mental struggles, though, is it's
different.
Copes differently, and different outlets help you more than other people.
Sure.
So I think it really is dependent on the person to find your own outlet.
Absolutely. Gina, I feel like we just solved like a whole bunch. We didn't solve problems.
World peace.
Yes, but I feel like this was, we should start our own podcast called Gina and Martin's Therapy.
This did more for me than my therapy ever did, for what it's worth.
This was an awesome conversation. I really appreciate you coming on the show and being open and honest about this stuff and talking. And like, it's awesome do you meet a lot of people that have like OCD like us? Because I feel like we're at the upper echelon, like 9, 10, maybe an 11.
And people joke about it a lot, but then it's like, but you're not really experiencing the full, like, how bad it is.
You're probably, I don't think I've ever met anyone else that has it as bad as me, like you do.
Yeah.
And like, it feels, we need to talk a little bit more because like, it does feel good to talk about it. And it makes me feel less crazy because I feel like a crazy person. And I know I should have gone to therapy. I know I should be on medication and I choose not to. And it's like.
Then we're dealing with what we deal with on a daily basis.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming on the episode. Happy New Year. I'll see you around the station.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.